This is the 8th and final episode in a series of video presentations by Master Horseman Pat Parelli, demonstrating a variety of natural horsemanship techniques to build a partnership with Wendelin, a 3-year-old feral mare found running with a feral herd in South Dallas, Texas. Parelli Foundation grants help address the growing needs of equine rescue organizations to find ways to better prepare rescued horses for successful adoptions. In this episode, Pat talks about getting friendly with the hind leg and the horse's journey with humans.
So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to toss this between her legs and pull on her nose. I'm going to try to toss it between her legs and pull on her nose. Huh. Oh, that's how that guy gets that. See, this is what I talk about. Attitude, knowledge, tools, techniques, time, and imagination. One of these days, I'm going to get someone smart like Debbie Adcock and have her help me analyze how many different techniques that I know. Okay? So again, now I'm going to try to go higher. Okay? And see if I can get that Achilles tendon there, to get her confident that I'm not going to hurt her. That's a vulnerable place. That's where every lion knows if they can, while they're grabbing, someone's grabbing it, you watch yourself there, grabbing a zebra, that if they can get a hold of that Achilles tendon, there ain't no getting loose. That Achilles tendon right there is how you bring them down. Okay? That's the most vulnerable place on a horse. That's why horses get scared on a hind leg. Raise your hand if you just learned something. Most people don't know that. Okay, so I've got to get her first. Where that a girl. Good girl. It's a lot of work, isn't it? And nobody wants to do this kind of work. This is dirty work. This is called long body logic. We're getting better, getting closer. But see, if we can't get her gentle to her feet, tame to her feet, and her mouth, and her tail, then we shouldn't get on her back. So now, let's take a horse's journey through human life. You ready? Step 1. It's called taming. Step 2. Pre-saddle training. Step 3, first rides, called starting the horse. There's a lot of difference between horse taming, pre-saddle training, and first rides. Then there's this thing called a foundation. Then there's this thing called specialization. Then there's this thing called competing. Those are the stages. And you don't have to do all of them, but which one is this horse missing?
The first.
Taming. It's not tame yet. And what does tame mean? Anybody ever seen a tamed squirrel? Pet squirrel? What is it? What is that pet squirrel 1,000% convinced of?
They trust people.
That trust them what? That they're not going to eat them. Taming. So this horse is not tame, all right? The road to the horse. Fun contests. It should be called a horse taming contest. They don't bring tame horses in there. Tame means she would be 1,000% convinced I would not hurt her no matter where I'm at, what time of day, what part of her body. That's taming, okay? So taming is an art in its own, is a skill in its own, okay? And so most colt starters start at the wrong spot if they have a horse who's not tame. That a girl. Good girl. That's a girl. Okay? Because she's a right brain introvert, we got to be careful that just because she stands still doesn't mean she's accepting. Okay? We've got to read every part of her body. We've got to feel everything that's going on. Atta girl. Okay? Let's see if we can get a little more foot action here off of this. So like this horse, it might be easier to go backwards to get a foot in. Oh, I was right again. And I'm here to tell you something, you Mustang madness folks, that if most horses, this horse here has probably got more blood in her than most Mustangs. Good breeding. Okay, her dad was probably a registered Appaloosa, and I don't know who her mom was, but there was probably some good stock in there somewhere. You take good blood, hot blood, and you let it go wild, that's a lot harder than a mutt. You take a Mustang who's maybe its dad is its own grandfather. Okay? Because the blood is all just mixed in, but you take a horse that's got thoroughbred or Arabian or high-level quarter horse in it and turn it wild until it's 4 or 5 years old, and then you bring it in and you want to start taming that dog, way different than Mustang.
We hope you have enjoyed this video series and have appreciated the ways in which natural horsemanship can address the growing needs of equine welfare organizations to better prepare the horses in their care for successful adoptions. I am Summer Wyatt Bacharach, Executive Director of the Parelli Foundation. Sometime after this video was shot, and without our knowledge or any communication with Pat Parelli, Wendelin was humanely euthanized, according to the SPCA of Texas, due to behavioral issues. We are incredibly saddened by this unnecessary and tragic outcome for Wendelin. As you have seen from this series, successful preparation for horses for adoption may require a level of horsemanship and attention to detail that is beyond the capabilities of many trainers. The Parelli Foundation is committed to improving the level of horsemanship in equine welfare organizations and beyond. And to ensure that Wendelin did not die in vain, we have established a memorial fund in her name that will go toward our horse welfare program grants, and we need your help. To donate in her name, please go to ParelliFoundation.org/Wendelin.